At long last, Zimbabwe's justice system has located its GPS and realized that journalist Blessed Mhlanga is not in fact a flight risk with a private jet stashed behind his garden shed. High Court Judge Justice Gibson Mandaza sounding more reasonable than a tax collector before elections, finally granted Mhlanga bail, bringing a flicker of sanity to a saga that had started to resemble a courtroom drama with no script and way too many commercial breaks. Thank you, Justice Mandaza, for upholding our Constitution and the law. In his ruling, Justice Mandaza highlighted something that would make even the densest bureaucrat blush. That time has passed. Yes, apparently in Zimbabwean law, the passage of time is now officially a change in circumstances. Who knew? It turns out, according to the learned judge, that Mhlanga's fixed address and the ability of the courts to slap on a few rules mean he doesn't need to be treated like a cartel kingpin awaiting extradition. But the real kicker, the original magistrate, in their wisdom or lack thereof, seemed to forget that the investigation is done and dusted and a trial date has been set. At this point, what exactly was Mhlanga going to interfere with? The wind? Justice Mandaza wasn't buying it either, and made it clear that proper legal conditions, the kind that make sure people don't run off to Victoria Falls in the night, could have been imposed from the beginning. Still, this isn't a complete win for Mhlanga. While his legal team proposed a $200 bail, the court decided to multiply the pain and upped it to $500. A not so subtle reminder that journalism in Zimbabwe doesn't just cost you freedom, it hits your wallet too. And no, he is not allowed to change his address, presumably in case he tries to teleport to a secret journalist hideout somewhere in the woods. But at least now Blessed Mhlanga can prepare for his trial without peering through prison bars. A small but necessary win for press freedom in a country where truth-telling has increasingly become a criminal offense. And speaking of fear and favor, let's talk about why this case matters more than just one man's bail. Blessed Mhlanga isn't just another journalist caught in the crosshairs of a paranoid regime. He's a symbol of what happens when truth becomes inconvenient and those in power start playing chess with people's rights. His arrest, detention, and the initial denial of bail had nothing to do with public safety and everything to do with sending a chilling message to every reporter, every journalist who still dares to carry a pen in Zimbabwe. Toe the line, or we will tow you to court. But the judiciary, for all its faults and flip-flopping tendencies, still has flickers of conscience, as evidenced by Justice Mandaza's ruling. If this ruling was Mandaza's ruling and not a ruling because an instruction came from above, we applaud Justice Mandaza. It's a subtle rebuke of the magistrate's handling of the matter. A quiet judicial whisper that says, maybe, just maybe, we are not all rubber stamps. Still, we shouldn't be celebrating basic legal fairness like it's a jackpot win. Bail is not a gift from Mount Olympus. It's a constitutional right, not a lottery ticket for the privileged or politically untouchables. Let's not forget, this is happening in a country where justice is selective. Law enforcement is more concerned with arresting Facebook posters than armed robbers. And prosecutors are increasingly doubling as public relations officers for the regime. The timing of Mhlanga's case, just as critical voices are being stifled and opposition parties are being shredded by legal technicalities, it's no coincidence. This isn't about justice. It's about power projection, the kind that whispers, "We are watching you. We will wear you down. We will bleed your resources dry in legal fees and keep you dancing to our courtroom circus." Yet in the face of this, Mhlanga has remained composed, unmoved, dignified, and now finally free, at least physically. Because let's be honest, psychological imprisonment is still very much alive when your every movement is monitored, your address is policed, and you are forced to perform the national sport of court hopping while waiting for a trial date that may or may not deliver real justice. But the story doesn't end there. No, this is just a comma, not a full stop. The bigger battle is about what happens next. Will the trial be fair? Will the state produce actual evidence? Or will we be treated to another round of legal charades and witness testimonies that conveniently forget how to remember? One thing is clear: the eyes of the nation and indeed the international community are watching. Because if Blessed Mhlanga can be targeted for doing his job, so can any other journalist who refuses to convert press freedom into press silence. And if justice is this slow and hesitant for a high-profile media figure, imagine the fate of the ordinary citizen with no platform, no lawyer, and no access to a sympathetic judge. Thank you for all those who tweeted, for all those who posted on Facebook, for all those who posted on TikTok, for all those who posted on Telegram, WhatsApp groups, and advocated for the release of Dhara Blessed Mhlanga. 72 days behind bars for doing his job. So here is the call. Keep watching, keep speaking out, and most importantly, don't stop asking questions. And while you are at it, hit that subscribe button to Zimwaves TV, because in a country where headlines are hunted and the truth is treated like contraband, someone has to keep the light on. We are not just reporting the news, we are defending the right to hear it. And to those still hoping journalism will die quietly in Zimbabwe, sorry to disappoint. The pen is still writing, the mic is still on, and the truth, well, it has a funny way of making bail eventually.
Matoke kupetisira imishuma endai munoita kamuna matoke kupetisira birika povari kukudana kamuna matoke kupetisira taneta isu vana veZimbabwe toregwa upfumi nechikanada atichadi isu vana venyika kuparadza nhaka yevana vedu. Saka tienda unoita kamuna matoke kupetisira shikananda endai munoita kamuna matoke kupetisira parakashi endai munoita kamuna matoke kupetisira bagesa vane siginaro kamuna matoke kupetisira taneta isu vana veZimbabwe toerwa upfumi nechikanada atichadi isu vana venyika kuparadza nhaka yevana vedu. Saka tatienda unoita kamuna matoke kupetisira vemauto tibatsireipa kamuna matoke kupetisira asi yese ngatichamukepa kamuna matoke kupetisira mazanu endai munoita kamuna matoke kupedzisira taneta isu vana veZimbabwe torerwa upfumi nezvikanada hatichadi isu vana venyika kuparadza nhaka yevana vedu saka tatienda unoita kamuna matoke kupedzisira Chitananda endai munoita kamuna matoke kupedzisira Parakashi endai munoita kamuna matoke kupedzisira Pageza vane sitinaro kamuna matoke kupedzisira Tandeta isu vana veZimbabwe